They laughed at her, called her just another quiet girl from nowhere. But when the smoke cleared, one bullet wrote her name in history, the bullet fired by the only man who ever believed in her. The sniper legend who trained her. Emma lived in silence. The mountain village carried whispers, not secrets. Everyone knew each other's hunger, each other's debts. Yet no one knew what she carried inside. Her father's watch lay broken on the shelf, hands frozen at 2:17. He had died at that hour. Emma kept it close, though it no longer ticked. It was the only thing of his she had left. She helped her mother grind maize, fetch water, mend clothes. Her brothers laughed, played soccer in the dusty road. She watched them through the window, never joining. She preferred the hills. From there she could see patterns no one else noticed. Clouds folding before rain, a hawk's shadow sweeping before it landed, the twitch of rabbits hidden in brush. The villagers dismissed her as odd. A girl too quiet, a girl who wandered, a girl who collected herbs and came back late, her shoes covered in dust. But she was not just collecting herbs. One night, wild dogs stormed the village chicken pens. They came in a pack, their leader scarred and lean. Men shouted, threw stones, swung sticks, but the dogs kept returning. The rifle of Senor Alvarez, the retired soldier at the edge of the village, sat locked in his home. He was away. Emma studied the pack for days. She knew their routes, the way they circled, the moment they paused before attacking. When the men met to argue plans, she slipped out. Donna Elena, Alvarez's widow, hesitated when Emma asked for the rifle. But when she looked into Emma's eyes, she handed it over. The girl climbed to the rocks above the village. 300 meters of distance. She had never fired before. She steadied the rifle against stone, breathed slow as she had seen Alvarez do. The pack appeared. The scarred leader advanced. Emma did not aim where he was. She aimed where he would be. The shot cracked. The dog dropped. The rest scattered. Silence followed, thick as smoke. The men ran to see who had fired. They expected Alvarez. They found Emma, rifle in hand, walking down with calm eyes. Gossip ran wild. Luck, some said. Sin, others whispered. But the old ones, the ones who remembered war, looked at her differently. When Alvarez returned, he measured the distance, studied the angle, felt the wind. His face turned grave. That evening he asked Emma's parents' permission to speak with her. "How did you know?" he asked. "I watched," she said. 3 days. "I knew his steps." Alvarez nodded. He had trained many soldiers. Few had ever learned to see like this. From that night he began to walk the hills with her. Binoculars in hand, patience in his voice. He taught her not to shoot, but to see. To breathe with the earth. To wait. She absorbed it all like dry earth drinking rain. But the village only saw the same quiet girl walking home carrying herbs. Until one dawn, strange cars appeared on the mountain road. Dark windows. Men who did not belong. And Alvarez's face hardened. "Emma," he said, "we need to talk." The broken watch ticked once in her memory. The bullet in her hand was cold. Smooth brass copper tip. Emma turned it over with her fingers, unsure if she wanted to hold it or throw it away. Alvarez's eyes stayed on her. "Every bullet tells a story," he said. "The question is, who writes it?" They climbed the ridge together that morning. No rifle, only binoculars. He pointed to valleys below, asking her to name every movement. She spoke quietly. A fox near the stream. A hawk circling before descent. The shimmer of leaves that showed wind direction. Alvarez said nothing for a long while. Then he whispered, "You see what others miss." Her broken watch ticked in her pocket, though it had no life. She touched it for calm, as if her father's still hand guided hers. Training began in secret, at dawn before her family stirred. At dusk, after the fields lay silent, Alvarez never lectured. He showed, then watched her repeat. He tossed stones at angles so she could read their fall. He taught her to breathe with the ground, to wait until her pulse slowed, to see the world as if it spoke. She did not learn like his soldiers had. She learned faster, more precise. She never asked for praise. One day Alvarez's old friend arrived, Captain Torres, a man with sharp eyes and the stiffness of command. He expected a recruit in uniform. Instead he saw Emma. Thin, quiet, hair tied back with a frayed ribbon. "This is her?" Torres asked. Alvarez nodded. "Try her." Torres vanished into the mountain terrain, confident in his camouflage. Hours passed. Ema studied the land. She knew where he would hide. The slope, the rock outcrop, the shadow too still. She circled silently. When Torres finally shifted to scan, a small stone landed near his boots. He spun around. Ema stood behind him, rifle resting on her shoulder. "Señor," she said softly. "You're eliminated." Torres stared, stunned. 3 months of training? Alvarez replied, 3 months. And a lifetime of watching. That night, Torres pulled Alvarez aside. "Eduardo, she's more than gifted. She's dangerous to those who underestimate her." But danger was already on its way. Strange SUVs rolled again through the valley, slowing near the village. Men leaned from windows, watching too closely. Rumors spread, cartel scouts. At the next council meeting, fear filled the air. Villagers whispered about families in neighboring valleys disappearing. Houses burned, land seized. Alvarez listened, his hand gripping his cane tight. After he spoke to Ema's parents, his words were heavy. "If they come, no stick or stone will stop them. Only precision. Only someone who sees as she does." Her mother trembled. Her father shook his head, but Ema's eyes didn't waver. On the way home, she touched her broken watch. Its hands, forever frozen, seemed to ask if she was ready to stop time for others too. The sound ripped through the mountains. Dogs barked, children cried. The villagers rushed to shutter windows. Ema stood in the doorway staring into the dark. Alvarez grabbed his old rifle, handed it to her. "Tonight, your choice," he said. They moved through the hills like shadows. The convoy had stopped near the fields. Headlights lit crops in pale yellow. Men with rifles dragged sacks of grain, shouting orders. One kicked the elder Don Mateo when he protested. Ema's fists clenched around the rifle. Her empty wallet weighed against her hip. The leather cracked. She had saved for months, hoping to buy new shoes for her little brother. Now it seemed worthless. What good was saving if the land itself could be stolen? Alvarez whispered, "Patience. Wait for the leader." The leader revealed himself soon, Ramirez, tall, scar across his chin, laughter cruel as glass breaking. He barked orders while drinking from a flask. Ema studied him. His stride, his pauses. She found the rhythm. She knew where he would stand when the flask tilted again. She steadied her rifle against stone. Breath slowed. The world shrank. Only Ramirez's silhouette mattered. Her finger curled, but Alvarez's hand stopped her. "Not yet," he whispered. "Tonight, fear is the bullet." He taught her something new. Instead of killing, she dismantled. At dawn, the men found engines broken, tiny pieces gone, radios silent. Food spoiled. They cursed each other, suspecting betrayal. Ramirez's anger grew. Ema left footprints where they should not be. She moved objects an inch, stole bullets from magazines. Her ghost whispering that nowhere was safe. The men grew restless, paranoid. Each shadow became an enemy. They fired into the dark, wasting rounds. Alvarez smiled grimly. Fear breaks men faster than lead. Days stretched. The cartel scouts became sloppy. Then one night, Ema chose her moment. The fuel depot glowed under moonlight. One shot. Fire bloomed, lighting the valley as if the sun had risen early. The roar echoed for miles. Ramirez roared for reinforcements. 20 more men arrived. They searched the hills with dogs and trackers. Ema and Alvarez were gone. 2 days later, a communication tower exploded in the exact moment Ramirez reported to headquarters that the situation was under control. Word spread. The villagers whispered about a phantom. The cartel muttered about a sniper who could not be seen, but Ema still returned home each night. She cooked, fetched water, carried firewood. Her family saw only the same quiet girl. Her broken watch ticked in her chest like a secret heartbeat. The village woke to dread. Vehicles blocked the mountain road. Armed men surrounded the valley. Ramirez's men dragged villagers into the square, shouting for answers. Who helps the ghost? They demanded. Who hides the sniper? Ema stood among her people, head down, hands clasped. No one looked at her. She was invisible even now. Alvarez whispered, "Do nothing. Let fear work." But then Ramirez pulled a child from the crowd. Her neighbor's son, no older than 10. He placed a pistol against the boy's head. "Bring me the ghost," Ramirez snarled, "or this boy dies." Silence stretched. The dusty road between them seemed endless. Ema's chest burned. Her empty wallet pressed against her hip again. Money she had saved could not buy life. Only action could. She slipped away unseen, climbing the church roof. From there she aimed. The broken watch dug into her palm. Ramirez laughed, shoving the boy to the ground, preparing to fire anyway. Her rifle cracked. The pistol shattered in his hand. He screamed, clutching bloodied fingers. The boy ran free, panic erupted. The villagers scattered. Cartel men fired wildly, hitting walls and air. Ema vanished into the hills. For nights after, she struck again and again. Vehicles disabled, leaders shot through scopes, radios destroyed. The cartel's grip loosened. Fear ate them alive. But Alvarez's warning came true. Government eyes began to turn toward the mountains.